y'all are. I have 12 summer tops that I have knit or crochet, and this summer I'm going to wear each one of them at least once and rate them in terms of how easy to dress they are versus how easy to wear they are. Easy to dress for me means, can I fit it with other things in my wardrobe? Would I reach for it? Is it a staple? And easy to wear means, can it hold up in the heat of British summer? The rules are that I have to wear the top from day to night, and it has to be at least 20 degrees Celsius that day. So strap in, I can't wait to have you join me. Okay, day number one and top number one. This one is a little bit of a cheat because I wear this top all the time, including during the summer months, so I know that it's going to fare quite well. It is the Curious Crop by Lydia Morrow. I knit it up in merino 4-ply from Knitting for Olive. The reason that I think it fares quite well is obviously there's a couple of design features around it, so it being sleeveless, the cutout hole doesn't hurt as well, that makes it a little bit more breathable. But I don't think that the wool really has ever affected me or made me feel too sweaty. Today just meets the criteria for filming because it's going to be 21 degrees Celsius at the highest point, so I think it will be quite hot. And I'm wearing this today with a pair of shorts. I'm going to go out and do some shopping, but it might be air conditioned in the shopping centre, so that again might help a little bit. But yeah, see you on the other side to see how it goes. It's the end of the day, and now we get to do the fun bit. I'm really excited to show you this extremely basic graph that I've put together. So, as I said, it is easy to dress on the y-axis and easy to wear on the x-axis. And I'm going to put all of these 12 tops somewhere on this grid. So, the one that I wore today is up here on the right, and I'm going to move her over onto this grid somewhere. So, thinking about easy to dress, I said I love wearing this top, so it's going to be up near the top. Obviously, the whole element makes this slightly less easy to dress, so I probably wouldn't wear this to the office. I think I probably have worn it to the office, but I probably shouldn't. Today it was very easy to wear. It was just perfect for going between air-conditioned areas and slightly hotter areas. Like, it worked really well in both situations. So actually, I can't imagine that there's going to be much that's easier to wear than this. Yeah. Okay, I feel good about that placement for now. I will see you tomorrow for the next top, and we'll see where she ends up on this grid. Good morning. Today I am wearing the Knitty Committee top by Lily Kate France. This is its second official wear, and it's going to be a longer wear than the first time because I'm going to take it to the office and see how it fares over the course of today. It's due to be 21 degrees, so we'll see what happens. This is 100% pure silk, so I think actually it might work out quite well. Sorry, pets. Meow. Meow. What I'm a little bit more worried about is the vegan leather trousers. I think they are going to get hot. They're going to get hot. I'll see you tonight. Hello, am I in frame? I guess we're just going to have to deal with whether I'm in frame or not. I don't know if you can see Pepper, but she is right here on my lap. She's joining us for our assessment of the Knitty Committee top. So, let's get to going. Today has been a good day wearing the Knitty Committee top. It has suited me absolutely perfectly. It worked really well in the office. It worked really well outside. I am going to give this probably about as high a score as you can get. So, it, I think, is slightly easier to dress than Curious Crop. And that's just because this is quite a standard t-shirt sort of shape. I think it goes really well with pretty much everything. So I'm going to put it quite high up. In terms of easy to wear, I'm actually going to put it just before Curious Crop. Like there. And the reason for that is that even though it was absolutely perfect to wear all day, like the silk really helped, that was great. And the shape of it was nice because it covered your shoulders, and it means that you're not going to get any unfortunate suntan escapades, which is a huge risk with curious crop. Never don't stop be sun creaming your boob hole on boob hole top. I take that again. Always be sun creaming your boob hole top, boob hole. So even though it's slightly more wearable than that, it was still, the silk, I was still a bit nervous about it. And it's not the sort of thing that I feel like I could obviously jump up a tree or do anything too radical with. It feels precious. And that's why it's there. So I don't know what I'm going to wear tomorrow or what's up next. I feel like I've kind of done the easiest ones first. And there are some ones here that I am definitely dreading from both the easy to dress and both the easy to wear side. So we'll see when I next have some sunshine to try on the next one. See you soon. Okay, so it's actually been a couple of weeks since the last day that I filmed. I swear to God, if I was filming this in Scotland and I had to wait for every single day to be over 20 degrees, this video would take 3 years to have 12 days that met that criteria. I am wearing today my Tosta tank. This is by the Crochet. The yarn is Merino 4-ply and it was dyed by a dyer in Scotland whose name is Dystopic Yarn. That's their brand name. I have actually been wearing this already all day. It's about 4:30. It's 26 degrees now and I just did 5 hours on the train. I'm going to keep wearing this for maybe like a couple more hours and then I will check in and let you know how it's fared. Starting to question the scientific integrity of this experiment because today has been a lot harder to wear a knitted top than either of the 2 previous days. Regardless, we plough on in the name of shoddy science. So, Tosta tank, here we are. Modified Tosta tank because I put like a bit of I-cord up at the top and I also put I-cord down at the hem, so it's not a pure, true Tosta tank. I think she's easier to wear than either of these 2, but I think that she's just under Curious Crop in terms of easy to dress. Maybe they're like right next to each other. Move these along, her along a little bit. You know what? Why am I crushing everything up at the end of the scale? It's my scale. I can do what I like. I think this looks good. So this is slightly easier to wear. It's a lot more breathable, I think. The Curious Crop is right to the skin. And Tosta tank has a little bit of ease to it, which I think helps with airflow and it not getting sweaty. It's still not quite as easy for me as to dress as the Knitty Committee top. And just the reason for that is because it doesn't quite cover my bra straps in a way that I would like. And neither does Curious Crop. Maybe this is slightly easier to dress because it doesn't have boob hole. I think it's more acceptable to have a little tiny bit of bra strap showing than it is to have a full hole in your chest. I'm not very Puritan about this. I think I'm purely thinking about what could I wear day to night? What could I wear at the office and then where to come home? Or where to go out? I'm telling you a bit about what my nights look like. I did promise myself that I wouldn't just wear my favourite ones straight away, and I have just done that. Alright, see you very soon. It's due to be 32 degrees here today. I am not built for this sort of weather at all. It's not in my blood. But luckily, I think that this top actually might be built for this sort of weather because it's obviously a bit of a more summery design. And also it's knit up in Ramen Summerlight 4-ply, which is a cotton yarn. Perfect, in my opinion, perfect for summer. Before I put this on, I actually sewed up the button band here because it had a little bit of a gape. And that was part of why I felt slightly nervous about wearing this top generally, is because it was probably a bit of a bold and more revealing choice, which I'm not against, but it just obviously limits the number of places that you can take it to. And today I'm taking it to church, which I don't often go to, but today I have to. So I thought, have it look a little bit less revealing. And I think that's actually improved the top for me. And I was never really using it as buttons anyway. So an improvement, already an improvement. I'm looking forward to checking in tonight and letting you know how it fares today. Just setting up my board. So it's 8:30. I've been wearing this top all day and I have some thoughts. I have some opinions on this. So let's crack into it. I'm going to put the top quite high on easy to wear. So this is made out of cotton. So given that it's quite breezy, it's not close to the skin, summer design, cotton fabric, all of that makes it a lot easier to wear in the hot weather. On easy to dress, I think if I was doing this, having not sewn up that button band, then where I've got it right now would be its final resting place. Having done that sewing up makes me feel a lot more secure about going out and wearing it. And obviously I wore it to church today and I actually got complimented on my top by the priest. The priest is my friend, so that's not unusual behavior. She liked it. So this can go a bit further up. I think probably it'll go around about here. Bring this to front. So it is not quite as easy to dress as these top ones, and that's just because the strappiness of it makes me feel a little bit self-conscious. But also the colour, to me, is not that easy for me to wear. I don't think I've got loads of things in my wardrobe that go with this sort of colour, and also I'm not 100% sure that that colour really suits me as much as the other ones. So that's where that's going to land. I was a bit worried about doing this top, but now that we're getting into the hotter weather, I think actually the things that I'm more worried about are like the rumble raglan and a shirt of fire and ice, because those are thick tops. So I've done probably the lighter, more breezy ones. Let's see what's next. 22 degrees today. Critics will say that wearing the shirt of fire and ice by James N. Watts, knit up in Aran weight wool, will be a mistake. But I've never listened to critics in the past and I don't intend to start now. Tune in for tonight's update, hosted by me, probably a puddle. Hi, it's me, Puddle, reporting for duty. Guys, it has been hot today. It has been very, very hot. I think the thing is, this is not a summer knit. This top is not a summer knit, and I should never have tried to assess her as such. So that's on me. That's not on her. That's on me. It's so hot, I think my laptop is not going to turn on. So surprising absolutely nobody, it turns out my laptop just wasn't charged. Blame the heat once again for my own error. This is going to be really easy to do, I think. The shirt of fire and ice is 100% fire. There is no ice to this. It is not easy to wear during summer. It's very easy to wear other times in the year. I find it quite easy to dress, and that's because, hey Pips, that's because I made it quite recently after I had thought a bit more about what my preferred colours were, the things that I like to wear. So it's a bit truer to, I think, my current style. So I'm going to put it up there on easy to dress, around about the same sort of place as Knitty Committee, Curious Crop, Tulsa Tank. And I think it's going to live there now. In terms of easy to wear, this is not a summer knit. This is a good autumn knit or a good spring knit. It's a good knit, but don't expect to not melt on a nice summer day. We've still got so many tops to do. Alright, let's crack on. Only one take today because I've not got a lot of time. This is a little bit of a cheat because I am wearing my rumble raglan on a slightly cooler day in British summer. It's actually raining right now, but it might clear up later on. It's due to be about 21 degrees, and I would apologise for doing it on a slightly cooler day because this doesn't feel like a fair test. But this is 100% merino and it's thick because of being stranded colour work, and obviously it's quite like covering. So if I wore it any other day, I think it would be too much. But I'll check in tonight and let you know how it went. I actually just filmed this whole thing, but my mic wasn't on. And let me tell you, it was the funniest, best clip I've ever filmed, and we're not going to have it again. Right, here we go. So, today I wore my rumble raglan. It is one of my favourite knitted tops of all time, and I think it's one of the most popular ones that I've ever knitted. I think it is my most liked on Ravelry. I think it's my most liked on Instagram. Not that that is what it's all about, but obviously people agree with me that this is a great top. I think this truly was not very easy to wear in the summer months. That's why I picked this slightly cooler day in order to wear it. And she's going to end up around here, I would say. I was having a bit of a debate around, is it easier to dress than Shirt of Fire and Ice? I think marginally less easy to dress. Quite like a bold, I think it goes with fewer things than Shirt of Fire and Ice. I think there's these clusters that are starting to form on the grid where I've got tops that I really like that are just not summer knits. Should never have been part of this experiment. And then we've got good, wonderful summer knits. And then the ones that are yet to come might start to form some clusters down here where we've got things maybe that are good summer projects that I just don't like that much, that don't suit me maybe. And then we've got maybe some stuff that's going to come here which is like, doesn't work for summer, I don't like wearing it, why do I have it? So stay tuned to find out which of these remaining 6 end up where. I forgot how much I love this outfit actually. This is a test knit that I did a few years ago. I don't think that the pattern was ever actually released. It was called Junebi tank, and this is my preferred way of wearing it, which is over this dress. I think it is a little bit hot. It's quite thick. I believe it's like Aran worsted weight yarn, and it is definitely merino. I'm going to be in the office today, and also I think it's going to be like 24 degrees. So I've got 2 quite different climates because the aircon is good. Actually, this might work better in the airconned office than it will do outside. But yeah, I'll see you tonight. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that I am wearing something different from the last clip, and that's because I fully forgot to rate the top at the end of the day. So we're going to do a double act. We're going to do that top, and we're also going to do the one that I'm wearing just now. But patience. The last one that I showed you was, I think it was called the Junebi tank. I had kind of mixed feelings about the top. It wasn't very complicated. It wasn't the sort of thing that I imagine a lot of people would feel comfortable paying for. But I really liked it. I thought the lace at the bottom was really pretty, and I liked the yarn that I used as well. That was an Aran weight yarn, I believe, so it was quite thick, and I used wool as well. So again, probably not actually a summer knit. It's probably, I don't know what season it's for. Given that it's the strappy tops, I really don't know what the season it's appropriate for. Summer maybe actually is the closest. I have to say, I find it quite, it's not the easiest to wear. It probably is slap bang in the middle in terms of ease to wear. It's, as I just said, it's strappy, so You don't want to have, you'll just be cold on your shoulders and stuff during summer, during spring or during autumn. But during summer, the wool and the thickness of it, it does make it a little bit sweaty. My stomach just rumbled. I'm actually not sure if you will pick that up on the mic. If you do, I'm really sorry. So I think I'm going to keep it slap bang in the middle in terms of easy to wear, because it's not the hardest thing in the world to wear. You just need the right day for it. It can't be super hot, and it cannot be, maybe like sunny but a bit chilly. That would be the perfect thing. Scottish summer, that would be the perfect day to wear this. And in terms of easy to dress, I love the colour. Like, I love the pinks and the purples. You might be able to tell that that is a style that I like. And I like wearing it in a couple of different ways. I like wearing it on its own, but I also do like wearing it over that dress, as I did in the first clip. And the one thing about it, I suppose, is that it's a little bit harder to wear. It does feel quite revealing, quite provocative. So it's not the best for work, and I think that's really determining how hard or easy I find it to dress. So I'm gonna be really bold, and I'm gonna put it just slightly up, maybe on a par with the leaf top. Yeah, that works for me. It's slightly easier to wear in the summer than these two, but it's still, yeah, still not the easiest. So what am I wearing just now? I've talked about this in other videos on the channel, so you might have seen it before. It's called the Nicola top. The designer's name is Alexandra, but her handle is Vert and Rose. So this was another test knit that I did, and I clearly loved the top that the designer had made so much, because I basically replicated it in, subconsciously I replicated it in the colours that I chose. It's made out of wool, so I think it's Cordale for this kind of tan colour. That was cami, and then the pink is Baby Soft Merino. And I wear this top genuinely all the time. I think this is a really good transitional top. It's really good for spring and for autumn. In summer, it is a little bit too thick, and I think that's partly a feature of, there are these kind of sort of garter stitch ridges, which I think does make it a bit thicker. It's got the folded hem, and this is folded on the armholes as well. And just checking, yeah, it's also got this folded neck band. So all of that makes it obviously a little bit thicker and a little bit warmer. So it's not the easiest thing for summer, despite the fact that it does have these like deeper armholes, which I really love. It makes me feel like I'm wearing like a sports tank or something. I'm obviously not, but it's got that kind of cut to me. And that does make it a little bit easier for summer. Alongside, there's the kind of lace holes in it as well, which gives it a little bit more breathability. So I would say it's easier to wear than the Junebi tank. And I find it so easy to dress as well, actually. I am going to pop it right next to Curious Crop. Just there. Because it is slightly warmer than Curious Crop. And it is also, but it's just as easy to dress, I would say. Just as easy. So there we go. That's where everything is at. So we've got 4 tops left. These ones I do wear a lot less frequently. So what I need to do after this clip is probably style some of them a little bit. So I'll be thinking about what outfits to wear and how to dress them all. So I'm on an app called Index, which is basically an outfit sharing app. The details are always in the description, my description box. So if you're on there, if you've heard of it, then please come and follow me and like, let's, connect there. But people can style from your wardrobe. And one thing that I love about this is that people really often style my knitted makes. So when they suggest outfits, I would say more than half of the time it features at least one knitted item. And some of the ones that are most popular, kind of surprisingly, this So Summer shirt that I made, which has a lyric on the top, and I will tell you about that when we come to it. That's a really popular top for people to style. So there's a couple of different outfits that people have put together, which is I love, because people see things in my wardrobe that I don't always see. So I might choose one of those outfits for wearing that, and I'll let you know how that goes. I will see you very soon. Gonna be quick because I'm a little bit late, but I am wearing today the number 3 rib cami. This was knitted in eco cotton in a sort of Aran weight, so it's a bit thicker, a bit heavier. I did struggle to dress it this morning, but anyway, here we go. It's due to be about 22 degrees today, but my office is air-conned, so it might be a little bit chilly and also a bit warm. Be honest with me, are you getting bored of this format? I'm getting a little bit bored of this format. Let's start with this one. I mean, I probably wouldn't have worn this summer if it hadn't been for this video. So that tells you immediately it's quite hard to dress for me. It's just a little bit too thick. And also, this is probably a feature, this is user error rather than designer error, but I made this in a way that constantly is showing my bra, which is not that's not the fault of the designer. Let's be really clear. That's my fault. I made this not very well. I'm really unhappy with I'm really unhappy with how I made this. So it's got a line here where I think I twisted the stitches when I put it on a stitch holder to check the length, and then put it back, and I think I twisted them. I made this as like a very early knit, so I can see some of the elements of it that are not perfect, and that's why I don't wear it very often. To me, it looks very handmade, and it's a shame because I love the colour, I love the design. I kind of want to take it back and then remake it, but it's the sort of thing where I'm like, I don't think I would do that. So this going is probably the hardest to dress out of everything that I wore. It's not the worst thing in the world. I was surprised. I enjoyed this outfit today. I thought it worked really well. My partner loves this. He was very kind about it. And in terms of easy to wear, I'm gonna put it about there. And that's because it was a little bit easier to wear than the Junebi tank. That's because it's cotton rather than merino. Still very thick, but it was easier than either Shirt of Iron and Ice or the Rumble Raglan, because of these strappy bits. So that's where she's landed. I might put her a bit further down on easy to dress. I don't think would have worn this if it hadn't been for this video. So there you go. It gets styled a lot on Index. I think I just mentioned in a previous clip the Index app, but this one, for some reason, a lot of people want to style it. And it's the same for the So Summer shirt. So we'll see what comes next. See you very soon. Good morning. Slightly different angle today because I thought that I would show you my full outfit for today, featuring the So Summer shirt, which is a design by Jessie May. I've worn this on the channel before, and I think I talked about it then, but it's knit up in Summer Light 4-ply by Rowan, which is one of my favourite yarns to work with, and also it's obviously a great yarn for summer, and just a great yarn generally. It feels really good and it's worn really well. When I made this, I duplicate stitched a lyric from a song by the band Big Thief over the top, which I still stand by. I like the song, I like the lyric, I like the top, but this does make it slightly less wearable for me because it feels like a little bit more of a statement. I am wearing an outfit that was put together for me by somebody on the app Index, so it's not something that I would naturally have worn, but I think it's nice to like see what other people see in your wardrobe. So yeah, thanks to whoever that was. I will see you tonight. Guys, I am so tired. I got into my pajamas and then I remembered that I hadn't done the second part of this video, so I got dressed again. So never say that I don't do anything for you. This one will actually be, I think, pretty quick because I knew where I thought this was going to land before even really getting into it. So I think I said I find this a little bit harder to dress, and that's because it's a little bit of a bold statement with the lyric, but also honestly I made this a while ago and I'm not I made this a while ago and there are some bits to it where I look and I think I wouldn't do that way now. So for example, this top doesn't actually have a neckband to it. I picked up and then added the neckband, and I would do that very differently now. So it's a little bit tight, and also there's bits here that just look a little bit sloppy that at the time I was happy with, and now I think I would redo. So it's going to be a little bit on the, it's not so easy to dress. So I think it's probably about equal here with the rib cami. I wear it a bit more, so maybe it's a little bit higher up, but it's super easy to wear. It's probably more, yeah, I think it's probably a little bit easier to wear than the than this leaf top. They're both actually made out of the same Summer Light 4-ply, just in different colours. But yeah, I find it a little bit easier. Is that true? No, I think it is still a bit warm with the sleeves. So maybe it's more like here. Having said this was going to be an easy decision, I think I'm happy with where that is. Maybe I'll reevaluate when we come to the end. Yeah. So now we've just got two left, which is the Spenedrift top, that's a crochet top, and the mesh top, which I think I genuinely haven't worn since I made. So I wonder where that's going to end up on the grid. See you soon! Hey gang, it is 5 o'clock, but I didn't feel like talking to anybody until now, so you get me now rather than in the morning. I have been wearing this top, which is the Spenedrift top, all day. This is the only crochet top out of the 12, and I don't wear it very often, I have to say. Part of the reason I don't wear it very often is, and I hope this isn't too glaring on camera, but it is a little bit revealing in that this design obviously is quite holy and it comes down quite far, so you have to have a specific sort of day to wear it on. And it is knit in merino. This is cami yarns, and I think the colour was called something like unicorn. I got 2 skeins as a gift from my dad last year, which was very generous and very kind, and it was exactly the right amount to make this top. So I really like the top. I don't wear it very often. One of the reasons I don't wear it very often is because something weird has kind of happened to this sleeve here, and I don't know why. Like both sleeves, sorry. I don't know why they kind of flare out like that. That's not what they're supposed to do, but they just do. I met Gage. I followed the pattern. So yeah, who knows? Anyway, I will check back in a couple of hours and tell you a little bit about where it goes on the scale. Penultimate top, here we go. I'm excited. I'm excited for this video to be over. No, that's not fair. So let's place the only crochet top onto the board. This is called the Spenedrift. It is by Linda Skuja. I have probably massacred about 3 words there. I'm pretty confident about the word Linda, but everything else take with a pinch of salt. And this was my first ever crochet garment. I was very pleased with it, very, very proud of it. And I still am very proud of it, and I think it is still quite beautiful. But I'll be honest, I don't wear it often. So that puts it for me on the quite hard to dress end of the scale. Probably harder to dress than this rib cami. And today, for the first time in the whole making of this video, I actually took the top off during the day because in the privacy of my own home, just to be clear, because it was too hot. So it's 26 degrees today, and as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna take it off again. So I think that probably puts it again on the quite low end of the spectrum, like not very easy to wear either. Not very easy to dress, not very easy to wear, which is a real shame. I had high hopes for this top. I still really like it, and I can't see myself undoing it because that would kind of break my heart. I'd have to have something that I wanted to use the yarn for, and then I might undo it. I'm going to do the last top from the sofa, as you probably already know, because I'm going to film the intro and the outro together tomorrow, and put the pure mesh tank top on the grid. So I'll return to you, future Becky, to close us off. Hi, welcome back to the sofa. I hope that you enjoyed watching the rest of the clips from my summer of wearing my knitted tops. It's time to put the pure mesh tank top on the grid. It feels like I'm ending on a little bit of a low point, but here we go. So unfortunately for the pure mesh tank top, it's going to go somewhere on the hard to dress end of the spectrum. I don't think I've actually worn this since I knit it up originally. However, I have to begrudgingly admit that it is quite easy to wear, and obviously the meshness of this makes that so. So I think I'm going to pop it there on the hardest to dress but easiest to wear end of the spectrum. So now we have a full grid. Look at that. They're all there. I kind of thought it would cluster a bit more. I was expecting like 4 distinct clumps of top, but it feels right. The ones up at the top right are definitely my favourite ones. And then there's been some surprise favourites come up, like my leaf top, for example. That was a real pro of doing this experiment, actually, is that I did manage to finally sew up the button band on that top and then make it a lot more wearable for me. So that is already 1 plus of having done this video. What else did I learn? If you want to get 12 days of British summer and you think you're going to be able to do that in 2 weeks, think again, because this video took me nearly 2 months to film. And guys, let me tell you, I don't like the editing process. I was born to knit, not to edit. I've also learned that things that you think you wear all the time, actually you really don't. And sometimes you need to give some really specific thought to a bit of clothing in order to make it work for your wardrobe. But constraints breed creativity. That was part of the fun of doing this. The last thing that I've learned as well is that, surprisingly, watching the video back, I think modesty in a top is way more important to me than I previously anticipated it being. And I think that's where I've landed with this pure mesh tank top, is that I thought I was the sort of person to be able to pull this off, but in reality, I just don't go to enough places where a knitted tank top is the appropriate garment. And if I do go to those places, I have about 3 or 4 things that I would rather wear ahead of that. So there you go. I think we're just about coming to the end of summer now, so I don't think I'm going to be making any more summer tops, for this year at least. But I'm excited to get into autumn and into sweater season and move on from this hot sticky mess that we've all become. If you like this video and you haven't seen anything else, then maybe you would consider having a look at some of my other videos. I put out a traditional podcast format as well, and I'm due to put out episode 6 any day now. So yeah, stay tuned for that. See you next time.